Live again. Welcome, Modern Lending Lab family. Woo! Last 2 weeks have been fun. Talked about the incredible changes happening in the industry. We talked about the absolute insanity of this market. And we talked about that there's no white knight coming to save anybody, and that you have to put out content every single day. And then immediately everyone stopped listening to me, closed the feed and was like, screw this guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But I'm going to help you out anyway. Today, we're going to explore what to say and how to say it. If you are buying into this idea that you increasing your digital footprint, that you increasing your digital reputation, that you having a personal brand matters and is going to drive business success for you, drive relationships, drive opportunity. If you're buying into any of this, then you believe that you gotta start posting content. You leave and watch last week. It's on my YouTube channel about how to build a digital community. Make sure you have the right people around you. But once you do and the camera's on, it's time to figure out what to say. And I'm going to help you. Before we go into that, I got to hit you with frequency one more time. We're going to talk about what to say and how to say it. You need to post every single day. If that's freaking you out, post once a week. Get your musculature up. Learn your strength. But remember that if you're out of sight, you're out of mind. And if you're not showing up every single day, you're going to lose in this game of attention. The mega players are going to take and eat your lunch if you don't figure out how to play big and show up and earn a seat at the table. Okay, so what to say and how to say it. Why do we dislike so many people's content on the internet? Why do we dislike it? Have you thought about it? Have you really unpacked why there are certain people who, when you see their posts, it drives you insane? Just the hate is just flowing through you when you watch these people on the internet. Have you thought about why? Why does certain people's content make you insane, that you block and hate, and just the why? I have an idea. I have a thought. I have an answer to why. I believe that there are two things about that person that drive you nuts. One is not controllable. The second is. The first thing that's not controllable is you just don't like them. It happens. Are you friends with everybody? Does everyone like you? It's part of the game. We're humans. There are people that naturally you just vibe with and people you don't. That's just how it works. It's not anyone's fault. It's just kind of biology. I don't know. So maybe that's one. And you can't control that. Meaning if you put yourself on the internet and you're a great human being and people just don't like you, then they just don't like you. That happens. It's okay. There's going to be 1,000 people that do. Don't worry about that. But the second thing is what they can control, which is what comes out of their mouth. And I firmly believe that the people that drive us nuts on social media, that we just despise and just can't handle, we can't handle the fact that everything they post, it's all about themselves. That's my prognosis. That's it. We can't handle the humble brags. We hate people who are just flexing on the internet. It drives us insane. And so when we talk about what to say, before we talk about how to say it, this is it. This is the equation. Less self, more service. Less self, more service. If we can figure out how to be helpful to other people, what's up, my friend? Then your content strategy will always win. I'm going to say it again. If you can be committed to helping other people, your content strategy will always win. Some people may not like you. It's okay. Welcome to the club. But if you can make content to help other people, your strategy will always win. Does that make sense? You paying attention? We don't like people's content when they're posting about their car or their. By the way, in the mortgage and real estate world, we don't like your post on your latest closing. We don't like your post on how fast you got your loan approved. No one cares. You're not being helpful to anybody. You're just saying, look at me, look how awesome I am. Go be in service and help other people. This guy gets it. So What can you talk about that helps people? Well, oh my God, if only you did something in this world that helped other people. If only your entire job was to actually help other people. It is. This is what makes me insane. What do I say, Alec? What do you mean? What do you say? You're helping people every day. Your entire job is to help people. In fact, if I just recorded your conversations with the last 18 clients you talked to, guess what? What are you doing with those people? You're providing solutions and helping them achieve the goal of homeownership. This is insane. This is awesome. That's what you should talk about all day long. For example, I'm going to bring on my friend ChatGPT into the equation. Here's ChatGPT. I asked ChatGPT, hey, give me 20 topics related to home financing for first-time home buyer that a first-time home buyer should know before applying for a mortgage. And you know what they said? Understanding your credit. How much can you afford? What's the mortgage approval process? What is it? How it works? Why it matters? Down payment requirements, loan types, first-time home buyers, any down payment assistance, fixed rate versus adjustable, how interest rates work. Oh my God, on and on and on and on. The amount of stuff to talk about is astronomical. You get to talk about all the things you do to help people. I never want to hear anybody ever say again, I don't know what to talk about. You have so many things to talk about. You'll never run out of ideas. Go be in help and service to others. Okay. We just nailed the first big two things. What to say and frequency. Now we need to talk about how to say it. And I'm going to set you up. Here's the magical equation. You ready? Bam. There it is. The magical equation. Oh. That's it. You're welcome. I'm going to break this down for you so it makes sense. But this is the whole game plan. Okay. Hook or intro. Tell me what you're going to tell me in the first sentence of this video. Tell me what you're going to tell me. Don't make me wait in suspense. Hit me with it. But I got to go back in time. I got to go back a little before we kind of unpack this. It's very normal in human conversation to sit down with somebody and to immediately talk about your qualifications. It's very normal. In fact, it's when you go to a business meeting or if a client was sitting in front of you and they're deciding whether to work with you, it's very obvious that you need to understand the person, if the person's qualified to help you. In fact, that's why we love pages like Yelp and all these places to go look at what other people say, because we're trying to figure out if this person's qualified. So what happens in a video is you turn on the record button, besides the panic that has you and the red lights on, you decide that you're going to introduce yourself and explain your qualifications. And that is the absolute wrong thing to do on the internet. It's backwards. Do not do it. How many times have you seen somebody start a video with, hey, everybody, it's Alec Hanson. I'm the head of revenue and growth for Loan Depot. I've been in the mortgage industry for 25 years. I'm bored just talking about myself. Stop it. Don't do that. Don't do that on the internet. On the internet, you want to play with this equation. You want to hit people with the hook. Why am I talking to you? Then tell a story. You can do an explanation and then close and get the heck out of the whole thing. Let me give you an example. I'm going to talk about down payment assistance. I'm talking about down payment assistance products. Okay. Here is an immature / weak hook. Did you know you can buy a house with 0 down? Okay. I know what you're going to talk about. You're asking a question. Obviously, the answer is yes, because you're prompting me. But it's an immature, it's a weak hook. It's not very strong because it doesn't really grab you. How about this? If you're waiting to buy a home and saving, if you're waiting to buy a home, if you're waiting to save 20% down to buy a home, if you're waiting to save 20% to put down on a house, you're making the biggest financial mistake of your life. Look, I struggled with that one. I struggled, but I got it out. If you are waiting to save up 20% down to buy a home, you're making the biggest financial mistake of your life. Holy crap. Now, do I believe that? Am I just being clickbaity? Am I just being kind of too aggressive with my hook? Maybe. You pick your path on how you want to drive a hook out. But you see the difference between did you know you can buy a house with 0 down and the other one? One of them is going to punch you in the face as you scroll, and the other one's just kind of weak and I might just blow by you. The hook is critically important to catch someone's attention. but I'm going to go a little bit deeper on it because I want you to pay attention. Immature hooks are did you knows. Clickbaity hooks are too extreme potentially for some personalities. The core of a good hook is in your conviction behind it. That's the punchline. The core of a good hook is in your conviction behind it. If you really believe that waiting to put 20% down and saving month over month over month and delaying buying a house is one of the biggest financial mistakes someone can make, as opposed to leveraging a down payment assistance or a low down payment option, if you believe that in your heart, then say that hook with your gut. Yell it from the rooftop. If you don't believe that's the biggest financial mistake, then don't lean into hooks that are so extreme. Find the right path for you, but a hook needs to tell somebody something and give them the reason to watch the video. Make sense? And then transition into the story. Now, I'm going to bring my friend ChatGPT back up here. You're going to love this. Get off the stage. Come on. There it is. So after I got all these hooks, after I got all these home financing tips and intros and stories, I went down and I asked it, hey, for each of the topics, please write me a strong and catchy hook for an Instagram reel. The hook needs to be one sentence and please make it aggressive and help stop the scroll. Now I could have changed this to 1,000 different, I could have been a lot more thoughtful in this, but I've just fired this up for this stream. And look at this. Understanding your credit score was topic number 1. Your dream home is one bad credit move away from slipping through your fingers. Don't let it happen. How much can you afford? If you don't know your buying power, you're already house hunting blind. Mortgage pre-approval process. Looking at homes without a pre-approval, that's like showing up to a gunfight with a butter knife. Ridiculous. But don't make excuses that you can't come up with hooks. ChatGPT can write it for you. Grok can write it for you. Your friend can give you one. You can look on the internet. You can write your own. There's 1,000 different ways for you to stop making excuses and find hooks you like and deliver them into your video. But you can't have ChatGPT tell your story. A hook is a great tool to get someone to stop scrolling. It explains what's happening in the video. It preps someone for what's going on. But the story is going to help explain the relevance to the viewer. Man, humans love stories, don't we? We love stories. One of my favorite people on the internet, Ford. And Neil tells incredible stories. He was on my podcast before. I love this man. He's an inspiration. Go follow him on every platform immediately. That's the best tip I could give you on the stream today. But he captivates people with stories. The whole sentence, let me tell you a story, zooms people in. And you're living these stories with your customers every single day. Let me tell you a story. My favorite story is I learned from a veteran who works for Loan Depot named Chris. And Chris told me the story about how he was PCS'd, permanent change of station, and moved during his service 4 times across the country. And now that he is a mortgage professional, he is on fire to educate veterans, because as he was moved across the country, he didn't know that his VA benefit would have allowed him to purchase homes, if he chose to, in each of those 4 locations during his service in the military. In fact, he told me that he potentially could own 4 duplexes or single-family residence or townhomes across the country, having to put 0 down to accomplish that, as opposed to just renting, which is what he did during his service. And now he inspires veterans to find out about their VA benefit while they're in service in the government, in the military, to potentially leverage it to not make the same mistake he did. What a great story. And so when you're delivering your hook and your story, you're going to suck people in to listen to what you have to say. It's an incredible opportunity. So inspire people, catch them with your hook, deliver a story that inspires them to take action, that gives them the ability to realize what's possible. And then the last thing is just close. Get off the stage. Finish, wrap down, call to action. Tell them to send you a direct message. Tell them to call you. Tell them to email you. Tell them to get in touch with you. But give them something to do at the end. Get off the video. Keep it short. Keep it sweet. Don't overcomplicate this segment. If you want to win in our business, you need to be in service to others. Stop posting your Yelp reviews. Stop posting how great you are, and help other people. Hit them with a hook. Tell a story. Get off the video. Don't overcomplicate this. Use tools like ChatGPT to help you, and you'll absolutely change your life. That's it for today. 15 minutes. Don't overcomplicate the game. Post content every single day. Use this formula, and you'll absolutely build a personal brand that will dominate the headspace of the people you're trying to inspire. Have a great day.